In this video, I want to go over a couple articles that I stumbled across just out of nowhere. They're really good and they're inspirational. Depends on what side of the coin you're on, really. But the fact of the matter is the truth is it hits you so deep here that it's just tell signs of what really the facts are, in the corporate world and being an employee and in general. So pay attention. Okay, so I will put the description, or I'll put the links in the description so that way you can actually read these articles. They're not real long, so they're pretty easy reads. I do recommend you check them out. It's just going to help you with your thinking process and also to understand the reality of what really is going on, whether you know it or not. But the facts are very substantial. So the very first one is a guy, his name is Drew McElroy, okay? And what he did is he created an app for the trucking industry, which I don't know if you know anything about the trucking industry, but it is a tough one to get into. And not only that, most of the people that make any money is on the broker side. The freight companies that are really big, like Southeastern, and then you have Yellow Freight, and then you have Old Dominion, and you have Werner and Swift, all the big companies out there, they're so big that they're taking just small amounts of the pot, so to speak. So when they're doing all of their work, most of what they are doing is minimal, okay? So this guy went ahead and created this app, and what this app does is it allows people from going from one drop-off location or pickup location to another drop-off or pickup location and stay loaded the whole way. So if you're in Illinois and you need to go to Ohio, and you came from Texas from a load, so if you're coming from Texas to Illinois and you're loaded, but then you need to pick up a backhaul from Ohio back down to here, you're empty between Illinois and Ohio. So what this app does is it keeps the truck drivers full everywhere you go, so that way you're always loaded rather than having empty hauls, because if you're empty, you're not making any money. But really what I wanted to talk about kind of a little bit more is this guy. He was in the trucking industry. His dad actually had a brokerage firm when he started out. And the part that struck me the hardest here, and I'm going to read this straight out of here, is that the most trucking is done by contractors, and the vast majority of that by small operators who are desperate to keep their rigs full to cover the financing on those rigs. So basically that tells me there's just no money to be made. So these guys are out there driving around and spending all their time and fuel on parts, repairs, tires and stuff, and there's just no money to be made. The only thing that you'll have is a little bit of freedom, because a little bit of freedom, because you're driving all over the United States delivering stuff. You don't have a boss, you're not punching a clock. But the problem is your freedom is actually still fairly low, because if you don't meet the demands of the client, meaning you have to be here with this load by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning at all costs, and then your fuel filter plugs up and you're stuck on the side of the road, well, that's a huge headache. And then brokers, if you do that too many times and stuff, you're out of the game. You won't be getting that same freight no more. So it's just ridiculous. But what this guy did is he went ahead and created this app. And this app allows, people to stay loaded and connected, and people are still, trucking. They're like, who cares? Let's just keep on trucking, right? And so, unfortunately, anyways, it's just not something that I recommend. But anyways, that just proves the fact that times are changing. There's more and more apps, more and more automation out there. There's things that are going on that are out of our control because things are already set in motion. Sometimes when you put something together and it picks up and keeps going, it's kind of like something that just you start it up and it just stays running. Okay, that's what automation technology is currently doing. It's already started up. It's going to keep rolling, and unfortunately, it's moving faster than we can move physically as human beings. So, okay, so that's the first one. Now, there's another article that I stumbled across, and this one here talks about how her name is BETH COMSTOCK, and she was a chair at GE. Okay, so she was on top end. She was up there. She's making good money. She had a lot of power, a lot of ability to make things happen, and she liked her job. And she did that for a long time until one day, out of nowhere, okay, she got let go, just like that, gone. So she was still an employee of a big company. And so what happened is, it just it turned out to be such uh, a long drawn out process, because when you go from an employee working, getting your college degree and doing all these things, and then all of a sudden, you're, I don't know, say 45, and you've been in the same career path for the past 25 years or something, whatever, right? And then all of a sudden everything changes just out of nowhere. You're kind of lost for a while. You really don't know what to do and how to act and what you should be, who you should talk to, and all these things. There's just so many unknowns and stuff, especially at that high a position, because you've worked so hard, in life to achieve these goals, to be a prestigious person within a certain realm of a company or whatever, right? Go to college, climb the ladder, do good, and get those deadlines in on time, and meet all these company goals, and please the company and the people at the company and all this other stuff. And corporations don't care anything about you. They'll chew you up, spit you out like no one's business. The only thing they care about is the bottom line. And there was another YouTube video I watched the other day on how this has got to change, because if all we're thinking about and caring about is the bottom line and getting production done, because obviously that's all that matters in the world, is the bottom line, cash, right? Doesn't really, without money you can't live. That's just how it is. But the thing is these companies, they have plenty of money. The big companies and stuff, there needs to be an additional resource or way, and it's all going to be changing, which it is now, because people are just going to go. It's what's happening right now. People are going out on their own, using the technology towards their advantage, and things will be just completely different, because the automation is already here. It's coming into play. It's going to be more and more as time goes on, and when you can replace people without having to worry about all this stuff, because that's all you want anyways. You just want the job done, and you don't care. These corporations, they don't care about the people. All they care about is themselves as far as getting the job done. So anything else doesn't make no difference, right? Oh man. So anyways, it's terrible, really. It is, but it's just the reality of it. And unfortunately, there are newer companies that are coming up that are decent, that try to play good and try to do the right things for people and stuff. But in the long run, basically, the way the market's shifting and the way people are shifting is they're going to be, if you don't get on the bandwagon, though, that's where there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a lot of people left behind that don't quite get this stuff and don't understand, and it's going to cause some serious problems. But anyways, back to this article. So this is one thing that I found completely just amazing, and this is the reason why money is so powerful, is because after she was fired or let go or retired or whatever, okay, she had people that she trusted in the company that were, that would work under her, in a department. She was chair, right? So she had a lot of power. So she she went to these people after the fact, and this is probably, I don't know, it doesn't actually say how long after the fact, but after she kind of got over the fact, of leaving the company and moving on and whatever, she decided to, try to contact these people for different things. For her. She was writing a book and stuff, okay, and I recommend checking out her book and everything. I'll put that in the description below. And it basically what it is she needed some help putting this stuff together. She called upon these companies that she, third-party companies outside of her own company, the GE company, and she found out the School of Hard Knocks. Okay, the School of Hard Knocks, man, the School of Hard Knocks is the best way to learn, almost known to man, because it cuts you like a knife. I mean, there's nothing better than the School of Hard Knocks, really. Now, granted, the School of Hard Knocks is a bit rough. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, the School of Hard Knocks is a bit rough. But this is what happened. She would talk to these people, and they would basically shrug their shoulders like, well, you don't work there no more. We can't help you. I don't know what to say. So these people that were once her friends and stuff like that are no longer her friends, so to speak, okay? Her book was the obvious target. She written it already and wanted to hatch a marketing plan. How hard could selling a book be after she'd overseen billions in sales? Did you hear that? She was looking after billions of dollars in sales. Okay? COMSTOCK hired marketing agencies that had worked on GE projects, but found she wasn't a priority. At GE, I would say, let's get this done, and people would move mountains. She says, without GE, you're what they do at the end of the day, right? So, okay. She noticed social changes too. People who were your friends, certainly your work friends, they vanish. I don't know where they're gone. She says, that's sad, right? They only liked me because they thought I was going to get them business or that I could get them here or there. Logically, she says, that made some sense to her. Time is short, she explains, but emotionally, some of the people did surprise me. I thought we had a different kind of relationship. So it's it's kind of like, are we really human beings? I mean, what's the goal here? We're all, it's crazy, and it stems from the corporations. Okay, I mean, it goes further and beyond that as far as human interaction and interpersonal communications and stuff too. But that's not what we're here. We're not going to play Mr. Psychologist here on this video or whatever. But what I need you to see and understand is this, if you're at a job, I don't care, okay, so you're working, say, I don't know, $15 an hour, and you say you're assistant supervisor, right, or assistant manager or something, right, trying to work your way up. Man, I want to get $25 an hour. I want to, make a little more money and try to get up there a little higher. Okay, all right, so 2 years pass, and now you're at $25 an hour, and you're just like, yes, sweet, this is awesome. Well, and then all of a sudden, there's some shifting in the company and corporation or whatever, and then after about another 6 to 8 months, all of a sudden, they come in one day, and they're like, well, we're going to have to let you go. Sorry, okay? Then what you going to do? Go somewhere else, start all over. If you have a degree in education, maybe you can start at the same pay rate and still have the same respect level at some other place. But even if you do have degrees and stuff, normally you still have to kind of work your way up. So what I'm trying to tell you is, let's say you wanted to go for $100 an hour. You wanted to be a big shot, right? You wanted to be, way up there. So you spent 10 years, and she spent way longer than 10 years doing this, building her way up, okay? But let's just say, for argument's sake right now, 10 years, you spend 10 years working your way up this ladder, getting certified, doing what they want, getting your obviously you have a bachelor's and then, a master's degree, and you're like, what, let's go ahead and bump it up a little more. Let's get a doctor's degree. So you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on school. Who knows, maybe they even would help pay for some of that. It really doesn't make no difference, right? And then all of a sudden, something changes somewhere and they let you go. Then what are you going to do? You wake up early in the morning, okay? You run around like a freaking a cat, like in circles, chasing its tail. Get ready to go out to work. You hit the road, get into traffic. fight your way through all this stuff, all these roads and lane changes and stuff like that to get to the job. Then you're fighting for parking spots as soon as you get to the dang place, right? You go, oh man, I got to park all the way on the top roof in the rain and stuff because everyone's taking the parking spots and stuff, you know. So then you do that. Then you got to fight your way through the elevators if there is. I mean, maybe it's just one single level. I don't know, but then you got to fight your way in through here and this and that. And as soon as you get in, people are already crawling down your throat. You know, phones are ringing. It's just going chaotic and crazy, right? And so you do this for 20 years, and then you put up with it on the way home and start the process every single day for 5 days a week or 6 days a week or maybe even longer. So what ends up happening here is you think you're getting somewhere and you're not. You know, this is not the only situation here, okay? This happens all the time, okay? So you have to be in charge of yourself to let these guys know what's up. You see what I'm saying? You need to let these corporations and these other people, they need to understand you, okay? But they don't care about that. So the only real way that you can do that is you have to split off on your own and make your own way, which is what she did. She made her book. She's got a website. She's promoting herself. At the end of the article down here, COMSTOCK realized she wasn't following her own advice. If you have multiple streams of income on your own, you can make up a living easy, okay? It's not that, I don't know why people want to race through the freaking traffic and everything else. You know, there's a lot of people that telecommute, even if you're, you know, doing that nowadays and stuff. So as time progresses, more and more labor is being automated, machines are being automated, you know, the jobs are going to be just dwindling down further and further and further. There's just going to be less and less of them. And the companies and corporations don't care. You know, if they do change their opinions and ways and stuff down the road somehow, or they value people, you know, thoughts and ideas more, then, you know, then maybe they'll change. But they don't care about, what I was trying to say earlier is they don't care about what you have to say, okay? You can see a problem within the company and still no one's going to listen to it. You know, they're going to do their own thing, even right or wrong, even if it's their mistake, and then they try to blame it on you when you said, oh, well, I tried to say that earlier. So anyways, you need to wake up, smell the coffee, understand that jobs are for losers and you're never going to get anywhere. So you need to quit doing that. You need to make some videos. Okay, if you have a lot of videos and you're already watching this video, cool, you're on the right track. Make videos, make a website, make digital products, okay? I mean, you need to promote yourself, okay? Promoting yourself is huge. That is the key, because if you are good at what you think about up here, you will be successful, no questions about it. It's just the facts. It's just how everything works on the planet. It's just natural, okay? Now, if you got a lot of problems up here and issues and stuff like that, then you need to have all that stuff cleared up first, okay? Before you can pursue mastering yourself, okay? Before you can actually make it solid for people to understand you and to pursue something, because otherwise it's just going to be very difficult for you, okay? So anyways, I wanted to show those. I'm going to cut it off here. I wanted to show you those two articles and how they relate to the real business world now, okay? And how you can take control over your life so that way you don't have to have these same similar problems, okay? We'll see you on the next one.